Good morning and welcome to Business English Paris. Today, the word of the day is leadership. The word of the day is leadership. So, when I think of leadership, I think of the um, the boss, the head of organizations, the president. I never think of myself. I don't consider myself to be um, a leader, although I'm not a follower either. I'm someone I think who just, lives in my own world and I lead myself. However, um, this is not about me. This is about what comes to your mind when you hear that word leadership. Are you a leader, first of all? I mean, in your capacity as a working individual, a professional, are you in a position of leadership or are you someone who is led by your boss, your supervisor, your manager, your CEO, whatever the case may be? And if that's the case, that you are someone who is led, what do you consider to be a good leader? I mean, do you think your leaders are good leaders? Are they effective? Are they motivating? Are they do they get the job done? Are they doing a good job? And if so, what leads you to that conclusion? If you think that the people who are leading you are not good leaders, what leads you to that conclusion? Also, if you are the leader, do you think you are a good leader? It's a tough question because I think if I were to ask someone this question in real life, an actual person in a position of leadership, do you think you're a good leader? I wonder if it would be a fair question to ask, because it would require that person to really self reflect, and I'm not sure how good people are with self reflection. Um, Although, on the other hand, I think if you're really a good leader, that you are very good at self reflection and you are very good or should be very good at explaining your position and explaining why you think your leadership is effective and is good. I don't think Donald Trump, for example, who is the current president of the United States, while I'm making this video, um, would have any problems explaining why he thinks he's a good leader. And I think that a good leader yeah, okay. So I do think a good leader should be able to explain why he or she is a good leader. Do you agree with that yourself? Do you think, I know, for example, um, we are in the midst of the coronavirus epidemic, pandemic situation, whatever you want to call it, at the moment. And um, Donald Trump, who I just referenced as President of the United States, has indicated that he's thinking about opening up America to back to life, back to work in a couple of weeks, and he has received a lot of criticism for that. And many people have questioned his leadership because of that. And my position on that is I'm not really sure whether that's good or bad leadership. I do think that leadership is very complicated. I think a lot of times as a leader, you have to think counterintuitively to the prevailing worldview, if you will. You have to make very difficult choices. You have to be a visionary. You have to be able to look beyond the immediate situation, the immediate um, what's going on right now, and look past that and say to yourself, look, I mean, we have a very big problem right now, you know, but I'm looking to the future and I'm seeing X, Y, and Z. And so I'm going to take certain actions right now, which None of you may understand, okay? But that's what we're going to do because my vision is X, Y, and Z, whatever it is. I think that a good leader is very good at doing that, at seeing things that the average person just doesn't see, and thinking about things that the average person does not necessarily think about, and being proactive um, in doing certain things that um, you know people just it's just not on their radar. I mean, they're just not seeing the same things, or they're not interpreting the data in quite the same way. Um, what do you think? Again, I probably asked that question 3 times already. Well, what do you think is, the definition of good leadership fundamentally? I mean, especially if you are in a position of leadership in your organization, at your job, but even if you're not, and you're someone who's looking to others for good leadership, what do you think makes a great leader? I think that's it for this particular video. The word of the day: leadership. I would like to get to a point with my videos. I should say this. I should share this, where I can actually have the words of the day sort of going across the screen as I'm talking, and maybe down here put my contact details, because I think it would just be better. The problem is I don't know how to do that yet. I don't know how to edit videos. I'm just beginning in this medium, and I'm not very tech savvy. I mean, there are many excuses, and I hate making excuses. It's not the sign of a good leader. But the fact is that I'm a novice at my videos, and it's going to take quite a long time for me to get to the point of actually having the videos look the way I envision them in my mind. So I apologize for that, because you, as the viewer, I want you to have the best possible experience when you watch my videos. And another thing is, one of my viewers indicated that my voice is too low, so I need a microphone. It's a lot of different little things that I think will improve the quality of the videos over time, just from a budget perspective, time perspective, experience perspective. It's going to be a decade before I put it all together, because I'm that kind of a girl. It takes me a decade to bloom, to come into my own, um, or longer. But yeah. What else? So I'm a business English coach. Okay. If you're looking for a business English coach, and it doesn't matter where you live in the world, we can do this telephonically, maybe even do face to face. I don't like the face to face technology, but I think I may have to reconsider that in some instances. But definitely WhatsApp, definitely just on the phone. Um, I am looking into other things, like everybody's talking to me about this thing called Zoom, where you can do like conferences or whatever, online with your students. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm in the dark ages as far as a lot of these things go, but I'm trying to learn as quickly as I can, and to sort of widen the options that I can offer. But for the moment, I'm available telephonically if you'd like to have a coach like me to help you with your business English. As far as contact details, which really ideally should be somewhere down here, okay? Um, Business English Paris, ELG@gmail.com. I never check that email, but I give it anyway, but I never check it. I have to have my sister help me with transferring that email to my regular email, so that I can actually see people are emailing me. But yeah, Business English Paris, ELG@gmail.com. That's the email address. As far as the my Instagram, at Business English Paris. As far as my blog, which really is the thing that started this whole thing. It is, and I have like so many, sometimes I can't remember the names of my blogs. I mean, there are 15 different blogs that I'm working on any given day. But this one is businessenglishparis.blogspot.com. Okay, I think. And that's the blog where I have all the words of the day and things like that. So it was my pleasure to spend this time talking with you today. And I hope to hear from you soon, one way or another. Subscribe. Oh, click the subscribe button. So up here, up there, I would like to put subscribe and where you can just subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have no idea how to do these things. It's going to take a decade, I know it. But do click subscribe because I want to have subscribers. Okay? Until the next one.